Hey guys, so today we'll be looking at the IBS-TH2 temperature and humidity sensor. This is a sensor by INKBIRD, and the version that I got does temperature and humidity. There is a version as well that does just temperature in the same form factor, so it is basically your choice, you can choose. So the reason I got this is because, well, I've been looking for a temperature sensor which is IPX rated, which can tell me the highs and lows through the night and through the day even, for that matter. And where I am, it's not that easy to find one that's IPX rated. A lot of people in the West use the Thermo drop, that little the zipper pool sensor. That's well, it tells you the high and low, but it doesn't show you gradients or any trending like that. But it does the job, I guess. But the problem is I can't get it over here for any reasonable amount of money. So I was shopping around and looking online and AliExpress, and I got this. So this INKBIRD is basically something that people use in greenhouses to monitor their greenhouse temperature throughout, and it's meant actually for networking, but you can use it as an individual unit as well. So this is the IBS-TH2 by INKBIRD, as mentioned. Over on the back, you can see it's by INKBIRD Tech CL. It's made in China, definitely, but you can see there's some associated businesses, Temp International Business Limited from the UK and Leixan GmbH in Germany. So I guess they do a lot of business in the UK and Germany. It's the first time I've heard of this brand, but the build is good, as I mentioned. And the app you're supposed to use to communicate with this device is the INKBIRD, ENGBIRD app. It works for both Android and Google. So, getting into the box. The box is properly made, very high quality, very well done. You get this brochure, well, not brochure, sorry, user manual, and the device inside. It basically tells you how to use it. Well, the specifications here, it runs on 2 AAA batteries, so this is one downside, I would call it, because 2 AAA batteries increases the size, and secondly, it increases the weight. Well, it is what it is in that sense, because I have nothing better, and despite all of that, it has some really good functions, which we'll get into in a while. Its communication range is over Bluetooth is 30 meters, which is exceptionally well. Typically, Bluetooth only works for 33 feet or 10 meters, but I can vouch for the range of this thing. It is really, really good. The temperature measurement is minus 40 C to positive 60 C, or minus 40 F to 140 F. So this device should cover, I would say, practically all backpacking ranges, except in deepest and coldest of winters. So minus 40 C is properly cold. The accuracy is 0.3 centigrade or 0.5 plus minus 0.5 F, which to me is irrelevant. It's really, really good enough for what I intend to use it for. The humidity range 0.99%. That's good enough. And what else? It's IPX4 rated, so it's splash rated. You could take it out in the rain. A little bit of splashing should not do it any harm. It has a magnetic back, so it's actually designed to be mounted on metal cabinets or something like that, so I guess that adds a bit more weight. And it has a warranty of 1 year. So you got the app to be downloaded here, the INKBIRD app, and it teaches you how to set it up. But that's about it. It's a well-written instruction manual, and we'll just set that aside. What you get in the box is basically the device and a little screwdriver to access the panel at the back. On the back here it says INKBIRD IBS-TH2, which is the model temperature and humidity sensor. And like I mentioned just now, you need to choose whether you want just temperature, which is slightly cheaper, or temperature and humidity, which is a little bit more expensive, all in the same form factor. I guess if there's no humidity, you wouldn't have the humidity sensor over here. It'll be a cleaner form, I guess. Anyway, let's just show you what's in the battery housing. I was not sure myself, so I had to ask the seller to show me, and the seller was quite helpful. So inside here you have two AAA batteries, and you have a panel which has a silicon sheet on it, which basically sits on this ledge and creates your IPX4 rating. The screw is a machine screw, and which screws into a brass nut, let's call it that. And so that should be rather durable. So just put in your batteries, tighten it up, and that's about it. So getting into a bit of specifications, it is not excessively heavy, but it is not light. I've got it in grams now, and that's 57 grams or 2 ounces even. That's with the batteries. If you use the lithium batteries like the one that we use in the Spot Gen 3, that should reduce the weight a little bit. There was another sensor which is lighter and much smaller. The brand is Jaali, Jaale. I'll throw up a picture on the screen. That's also IPX rated, but a couple of things. It's lanyard. This has a nice big lanyard hole through which I can splice some rope, but that one had just like a tiny, you know, there's I'll put a picture up also from the website, but it's just a tiny slot which you would put like a handphone lasso through it, which I think for a backpacking purpose it's not really practical. It's I think it's a little bit flimsy, so that's one reason why I didn't get it. And the other reason is this is fairly economical. It's $16 shipped to me. That Jaali's tiny thing is $39. It's more than double the price of this, but it is much smaller. It uses a CR2030 battery or something like that, a much smaller battery. So it's significantly smaller, significantly lighter, but a heck of a lot more expensive. So I went for this, especially because it has a nice lanyard hole. The width of it is 2 3/16, I think, and its square. Thickness is it's about 3/4 inches thick. So in centimeters or millimeters, let's go for that. It's 56 millimeters by 56 millimeters, and the thickness is 16 millimeters. Okay, so let's look at the app. So you download the INKBIRD app and install it, and basically this is the interface you get. You can name your device, and then this has been logging since the 1st of November, so which is like 2 weeks. Okay, it's not that long, but battery's still 100%, and it sets the temperature and humidity here. You can see the current temperature and humidity. I just changed. So in settings, you can basically set your name, set your interval, which I'm setting at 10 minutes, but you could set it longer or shorter as you like. The shorter your interval, the faster your battery drains, of course, naturally. Calibration, you can calibrate it against a device, but then again, that's only if you have a calibration device. This alarm system that you have here, alerts, when I read about it online, it said that it could alert based on the parameters that I set here. But if you are doing in a Bluetooth configuration or communication mode, which is basically phone directly to device, the alarm will only sound if your phone is connected, your phone is on, and the app is loaded. And that's when the alarm will ring. I did ask the seller about this, and they mentioned that if you use the Wi-Fi gateway that they sell with this, like I mentioned, this is for, I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet, but this is actually for greenhouses. So you'll have multiple units of this throughout your greenhouse, and then you'd have a Wi-Fi gateway which hooks onto the internet, and you can monitor that remotely. So if this thing communicates through the Wi-Fi gateway, then the alarm will notify you and ring irrespective of if your app is open or closed. I can't verify that because I didn't buy the gateway, but that's what the seller said. But anyway, as far as hikers and all that go, it's not that important. The only time I thought it would be useful is I could probably set it like 2 or 3 degrees centigrade, so that if I forget to put my water filter in my pocket when it's getting cold and I'm going to sleep, at least then I would get a notification before my filter freezes. I could get up, pop it and take it into my tent or my hammock with me to keep it from freezing. But in this case, well, I guess the alarm doesn't work. Well, small sacrifice to make. So that's settings. You could delete the app here. You can add another device up there. And diagrams. So this is basically the trending. So every time you load this, it will communicate and pull the last set of data that it has not copied yet from the previous point that it had copied. And you can see it running up here, 75, 80, 90%, 100%, and it's done. I'm currently in month mode, and I'm looking at humidity. So you can look at month mode, week mode, and you can jump through. You can even go day mode, and you can look day by day. So here we are here, and we can see week by week or day by day. We can scroll through and see how things are moving, and you can see temperature, same thing, week or month. The other thing that's cool about this is it actually gives you a temperature distribution graph, so that you can actually see the temperature distribution. And the same goes for humidity. It shows you the humidity distribution graph, and it can do it for the week and the month and all that. So I'm going to basically splice a lanyard through here with some Dyneema, I guess. I'm not too sure. I haven't figured that one out yet, but I think it'll be okay and it'll be quite solid. The other thing about this being a Bluetooth connection is that you can actually, you don't have to hang this somewhere visible for you, like on a zipper pull, or like when we're using the Thermoworks or something like that. This can just be at the back of your pack, in a pack pocket, strapped to some webbing or something like that, even inside your pack, because let's face it, your pack will eventually get atmospheric temperature, right? So it can be anywhere, and when you want to check the temperature, all you have to do is pull out your phone, which you are going to be doing to check your navigation apps or some messages or something like that, and you can check the temperature. And you will be able to check the temperature even for a few days past if you haven't looked at it for a while. And that's about it. Yeah, so it's quite convenient in the sense that it's a Bluetooth communication. There's no screen or anything on this one. There is another model that has the screen, but that's the one that has the port for the external sensor. I'm not sure whether that is IP rated, but the temperature range does not go down to -40. I think it's only -10 centigrade for that particular sensor, unless you use the external probe with it. So this thing is standalone and it has a proper temperature range. So I'll be using it for the first time whenever I get out. Since the 1st of November when I got this, I haven't gone out yet because, well, it's monsoon season, the rivers are swollen and it is quite dangerous. But as soon as I get a chance, I'll be going out and giving this a shot over here. So I guess what I'm trying to say in this video is a lot of people look for ultralight solutions in the hiking sphere, but very often the solution lies in other industries or something like that. We took Dyneema from sailboats. We took also Dyneema rope. Well, Dyneema sheet came from the sails and the rope came from the rigging. So guys, let me know if you have used something like this before, even if it's something similar, your experience, or if you're planning to get one. Let me know how it goes. And as always, leave feedback or any input in the comments below. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.